Good morning. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC for Montclair. It is currently 7:01 a.m. here on Tuesday, December 12th. And listeners, this is the last time you will hear this Tuesday crew because the semester is ending, but don't worry, we will be back better than ever in the spring semester, but more on that later. I'm your host, Nicole Passero, and join with me today, we have my co-host.
Monique Java, and today we will be discussing a lockdown being lifted at Fairleigh Dickinson University, a new run for New Jersey State Governor, and an interview with Saxby's Coffee and more.
To come back to, our home state here in New Jersey, there is a new run for the New Jersey governor. Steve Sweeney, a former top Democratic lawmaker, has announced a bid for governor of New Jersey. In a video he posted online, he announced his political comeback to succeed term-limited Democratic Governor Phil Murphy in the 2025 election. In the past, Sweeney served as the state's Senate president from 2010 to 2022 and unexpectedly lost a re-election bid to Republican Ed Durr in 2021. In Sweeney's campaign, he heavily leaned into his career background, and he was first an iron worker, and then a labor leader, and then a legislator. He opened his announcement by saying that his daughter, who has Down syndrome, gave him the spark for him to seek public office. Sweeney says, "I will always put New Jersey's kids, working families, and seniors first. You know that's who I'll fight for because that's who I've always fought for." During election night last month, his friend and former legislative colleague, John Berzicelli, exacted political payback by defeating Durr. Berzicelli said after his victory that he expected Sweeney would have an announcement soon about seeking office again. So in 2025, Phil he's gone, which is crazy. I feel like, especially because I'm not from New Jersey, and coming to the school, we were always talking about, our New Jersey State Governor, Phil Murphy. It's crazy to think that he's not going to be our governor next year in 2025 after the election happens.
True, because I kind of forget sometimes that elections do happen and that these people, they have a certain amount of time in office.
So also the time, I feel like, goes by so fast. So much can happen when in your term, and then the re-elections happen. But you're right.
Yeah, and now we're voting adults,
Yeah, now we are over the age of 18.
Yeah, so
we have a say now.
We do have a say. And that's scary, kind of,
it is. It's really, we get to make choices, and now our voices get to be heard since we are of age to vote. And basically, for Governor Phil Murphy, he's term limited and he's not eligible to seek a third consecutive term. So we will be saying goodbye to him and saying hello to some new governor, which we don't know who. Sweeney is now, his campaign has been launched, so we're going to see how he does with all of that. And yeah, now we also have Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop is also seeking to do a campaign as well. So there's definitely going to be, voting seasons coming up very, very soon. And we're going to see who's going to be the new New Jersey governor soon. But Mo, can you tell us what our next story is? Because we're going to get into some education.
Low attendance rate in school districts. Even though the massive COVID-19 pandemic has come to an end, the virus is not going away, and many schools are dealing with the lingering effects of lockdowns. Chris Lentz, who is part of the attendance team in Louisville, Kentucky, said that he has to make up 30 calls per week searching for chronically absent students. Chronic absenteeism is known as when you have at least 10 absences in just one school year and has always been a problem in Lance's district. However, the situation got worse once the pandemic hit. The Jefferson County Superintendent Marty Polio explained to CBS News that he thinks the rise in chronic absenteeism is a major crisis. Polio said, when you think of housing instability, food instability, and a student who doesn't have clean clothes may not come to school. Each Jefferson County school offers a youth service center that provides everything from clean clothes and hygiene products to food for struggling students. 63% of families rely on schools for meals, specifically in Jefferson County.
Now, I could definitely agree with Chris Lance here on the fact that, I feel like low attendance rates in a lot of school districts was always a problem, but once that pandemic hit, it really became a problem because there's so many people that just didn't want to go to school that they still feel scared if like their kid's sick or like somebody else in the class is sick and they don't want to get sick, especially when we're getting now in the winter season. There's the rise of COVID, the flu, the RSV virus, so there's really just constant stuff. And then there's also the side effects of food instability. I mean, it's really nice to see that Jefferson County does offer, some access to food for those who are struggling, but it's definitely a big problem that's just happening. And then there's like the also kids who just don't want to go to school in general. They're just lazy.
There are some kids who don't want to go to school, but there's also, well, we also have to think of the fact that what COVID did. I mean, it did a lot. People lost their jobs. People lost the prices of food went up.
Inflation.
So we don't really know necessarily like if these kids are not attending school because they don't want to, or is it because they're working, that they are trying to help their households create another income. Yeah, because it's hard out here now. Like the rise of food prices are insane. Paying rent, people aren't making livable wages enough for
lots of jobs.
Yeah, so we don't necessarily know why these kids are not attending school. It could be because they are making money, because they are building an income for themselves and to help their families out.
We are going to start off with the Golden Globe nominations. The nominees for the 81st Golden Globe Awards that honor the top film and television series from the past year are finally here. As with no surprise, Barbie has a total of 9 nominations, followed by Oppenheimer with 8. For television, Succession's final season scored the most nominations with 9 total. Additionally, 2 new categories were added this year, which are Cinematic and Box Office Achievement in Motion Pictures and Best Stand-Up Comedian on Television. The awards ceremony is scheduled to air live on CBS on January 7th from 8 to 11 p.m. EST. The ceremony will also stream on Paramount Plus and on the CBS app. So we got lots and lots to get covered here at the Golden Globes. Are we excited?
Yes, I'm really 81st.
That's a long time.
The Golden Globes have been around for a long time, and it's crazy to see like every year how a bunch of different actors and movies are nominated.
You are so right. And I'm going to list some of the nominated movies. There's so many. There's absolutely so many, nominees, but to get into more depth, we have I'll do one from like each thing, right? So we have best motion pictures. Whoa. For movies, we have best motion picture, musical or comedy. So the things up and running are Air, American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things. For let's see, what else? There's so many. We have best performance by a male actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. We have Nicolas Cage from Dream Scenario, Timothée Chalamet from Wonka, Matt Damon from Air, Paul Giamatti from The Holdovers, Joaquin Phoenix from Beau is Afraid, Jeffrey Wright from American Fiction. For best performance by a female actor in a supporting role in any motion picture, we have Emily Blunt from Oppenheimer, Daniel Brooks from The Color Purple, Jodie Foster from Maid, is that how you say it?
No, yeah.
Yeah, Julianne Moore from May, December, Rosamund Pike from Saltburn, and Devine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. And I'll say one more because this is a new Golden Globe Award that they are giving out, which is a Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. And so the nominations for that are Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour.
That's a
So
lot.
that
Damn.
one has, I mean, that's like a new category, and there's already so many nominations.
Yeah, and all these movies, I think I've seen almost every single movie on this list.
I saw most of them, I feel
Yeah.
like. But it's cool. I mean, like, also, we were talking about this off air a lot. Some of the nominations, actually, the movies haven't even come out yet,
Yeah,
which
they
is
haven't.
really interesting that it's already nominated.
I wonder how that works though. Like before anything gets like streamed or in theaters, like how can they nominate movies that haven't been shown out to the public yet?
I saw a comment under a post like they were talking about it, and someone said it also has to do something with critic reviews, because obviously critics see the movie before, and even they have premieres. They had premieres already. For example, The Color Purple has not been released worldwide completely, but they did have premieres for it. People have already seen, so some people have seen the movie already. So it's like their reviews, critic reviews, is a possibility as to why they got nominated.
But our time here on the Tuesday Buzz we are reaching an end to it because our semester is ending, and you can tune in to the rest of the Morning Buzz from tomorrow up until Friday, same place, same time, 7 to 9 a.m. And then you can hear us also on in January when we're back for the spring semester. So please stay tuned for the rest of the shows here on the Morning Buzz in the fall. And we are going to play a very special song titled Lonely Christmas by Gary Garcia.